Crosswatchers. Welcome to your timeless work, career, and vocation reading. I am your reader, Mark Angela Lyons, Mal for short. They're my initials. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998. We just made 25 years in business, May 1st, 2023 at the time of this timeless recording. I am the author of Words of Grace, From a Professional Witch. There's a Kindle version. It is available via a link in the description box, and you can click on it and preview a whole chunk of the first part of it if you like, and a lot of the prayers, principles, and practices that have kept me in business for 25 years plus are in that book. Also organized by chakra chapter. There are chakras in the reading. You might find it helpful in this work, career, vocation stuff we're about to dive into. But that's the Kindle version. The original version, which I keep saying because it's just the truth, it's like a Fellini movie compared to the Kindle version. Some of my subscribers get that over on Patreon. My darlings, patreon.com/Drawing the Circle Production. Woo! Incorporated as corporations since 1998, man. So much good stuff going on over there on Patreon. Wisest career move I ever made as a mystical artist, a spiritual teacher, professional intuitive, and all that jazz. We got 8 levels of subscribers at the time of this timeless. We've got Seeker, Human, Hero, Angel, Witch, Immortal, Mystic, God, Goddess is one tier. They're the top tier. They get everything, and there's a link in the description box. The new intro that I did for May 2023, if you want to check that out, goes much deeper into it. But all of my subscribers get 3 things in common. Number 1, they get the extended reads, all of them that I've done, past, present, and into the future. As long as they remain subscribers, they also get what's called a daily check-in. I send them an unlisted YouTube live stream link so they can chat with me every morning about the day's astrological weather, the magical applications, the spiritual implications, and we always end with a little prayer, a little something to send us on our way, a little blessing, a little meditation, whatever. Favorite way to start the day, and it sets me up for doing this work. I did it this morning and it was lovely. I'm ready to do it again. But the third thing they get is quite the discount when it comes to booking me for private sessions. There's a new video for that too. That goes into it much deeper, but $3 Seeker to $20 God Goddess, they get the discount. So, even if you just want to try me for a month and get a discount on a reading, links in the description box, because I love it over there and I highly recommend it. So if you are so drawn, so inspired, come Patreon on Patreon, because I'm the Archangel of Lions, Mark Angela Lyons. But you can call me Mal. Hey, I am feeling good today, and I love a Sagittarius read because I love Sagittarians. So let's do some explanation, and then we'll get in to divination because we have new people. Hello, welcome. New Saggies and Crosswatchers, and these readings are good for crosswatching, and I'll get there. What we're doing here is what's really called a 3 levels of power reading. I learned it from Carolyn Mace, MYSS. She's a PhD, author of Sacred Contracts. These are her archetype cards. A way of looking at different areas of your life that might be a bit too much to digest, like in this case, life purpose, by looking at it in 3 connected levels. Your work, your career, your vocation. There are chakras involved. I'll talk about that as we go. The idea being that as each and every one of us do what we are contracted to do in this life, one would think the happier, healthier, wealthier, and wiser we would be as we go along on a hero's journey, a life purpose, whatever you want to call it. So my job is to help you do that, because as each and every one of us do that individually, we individually shift to a more golden rather than a leaded timeline. That's the language of spiritual alchemy. I'll explain it as I go. And you also take everyone with you, right? Because there are infinite number of timelines, blah, blah, blah. If you think of lead as toxic, gold as healthy, 3 atoms in between lead and gold on the periodic table, then that's the alchemy we're looking at here. And we got quite a number of cards to do. 12, actually. All 12 signs, Aries through Pisces, get the same 11 cards. But right before I did this reading, I say, okay, where's the wild card coming from? And it's coming from the Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish. That will be our second to last card down. So you get a little magic, a little spell, a little something, something. to help you manifest this. So yeah, it's a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, of course. And check your other signs, because your sun sign might have leverage on work. Your moon sign, your vocation, we'll see how that plays out. I guess that's about it. Is that all the explanation we need to do? Oh yeah, cross-watchers. Really, really good for cross-watching people that you're dealing with in your work, career, vocation. So hopefully you get some insight, some understanding, some sympathy, and some empathy. And if you apply some of this stuff, like the whispers of Lord Ganesha, will help remove those three atoms, those three obstacles between lead and gold. There's a healing mantra involved here. And remember, mirroring can be going on at any time. Oh, and there are some good links in the description box, particularly 3 Levels of Power by Carolyn Mace, part 1 of a 3-part talk. It's all on YouTube, it's for free, and I've been doing these readings in different shapes and forms for clients for decades, since I learned this, I think in the late 90s, early 2000s, something like that. So both feet on the floor if you can, focus on your breath if you will, and I will do the best that I can to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace through divination, what I'm good at. It's the explanation I gotta do, but the divination's what I was born to do. So that shift from one to the other happens in a lovely little 2-word spell that my guides gave me. See if you can catch it, because I do it over and over. Watch the shift in my brain hemispheres. Let's do this. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. It's my Shazam. Using the Caroline Mace archetype cards, I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for the Sagittarius collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and crosswatchers who are watching this video who are drawn to this reading. I need 3 Caroline Mace archetype cards representing the dominant archetypes in the 8th chakra for their work, how they survive in the world, their career, their creative energy, their passion, their hunger, their thirst, and their vocation, their spiritual calling. We'll lay them down, work, career, vocation, but we will read them vocation, career, work for the Sagittarius. What's going on in their work? Dominant 8th chakra. Sending down the codes to all the other chakras underneath it, which we will also look at, shifting what they attract and what they repel, so they have the choice to no longer delay or cannot be prevented to develop these soul powers and fulfill their contracts. So what's going on in their career? 2nd level of power, creative intuition. What about their vocation? 8th chakra dominant vocation, their spiritual calling, their mystical spiritual power in this timeless work, career, vocation read. Let's see. Woof. Oh, okay. So like I said, we lay them down 1, 2, 3, but we read them 3, 2, 1. We're going to go from the physical, we're going to lay them down from the physical to the spiritual, but then read it, bringing it down. You got the Exorcist. You are the Exorcist servant companion. So we've got a divine family archetype. There are 9 different families. The servant is the healing family archetype, as is the companion, a healing family archetype. So I would say that's pretty on target for Sagittarians in general, particularly the Exorcist. Now, no pea soup needed unless that's how you're doing it. Another name for this archetype is called the Shaman. Now, I don't claim the name Shaman for myself. That's cultural appropriation, misappropriation, I forget which is the right one. They might both be right. I don't know, whatever. I'm a witch, right? Nobody claims the name witch publicly unless they really are that or really want to be, right? So the Exorcist, I mean, we definitely have a very shamanic looking illustration here in the Caroline Mace archetype cards. On the bottom of this is written the shadow attribute. The top is the light. I consider that lead and gold. It's just an easier language for me. So, the shadow. Fear of facing your own demons. Now look, that just comes with. Nobody's born like, yay, let's do shadow work. Yay, day 1. Right? No, we all have fears of facing our own demons, our fears. It's the stuff we push down. That's what the shadow is. It's the stuff we don't want to deal with. And there is so much wisdom and gold waiting, and well, it's disguised as lead, right? Fear, the fear fear of facing your own inner demons, but the light attribute, freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. Freeing yourself. So what do you do when you have a destructive impulse? You turn it into creativity. I used to do house blessings, right, as a professional witch. I'd pack up the broom, put it in the car, bring all my stuff, right, and go from the basement all the way to the ceiling, sealing the windows with, like, magic, blessed oil, the whole nine, right? It's an exorcism is exactly what it is. It's like deep house cleaning. It's like a Biore pore strip for, like, an entire house. So the Exorcist, it's not so scary, but it can feel really scary. Now, again, we're gonna get the chakras, all 8 for each level here. But then let's talk about the servant. Now, you can have any of these archetypes, a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Really seriously, check out Sacred Contracts by Carolyn Mays. The shadow attribute of the servant I see in myself. I am a Virgo. We're the servants of the zodiac, and I know a lot of people who feel this way, using the lack of money as an excuse not to move forward with life, right? Like, I think about it, 25 years in business. Am I as far as I thought I would go? No, I thought at this point I'd be traveling international, bestseller, this or that. But, that's not how it is. The journey that I took was the one that I needed. And was it because of lack of funds? Yeah, absolutely. Right? But to move forward with life as a healer, as healing oneself, we get to the light. Delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. Now look, how much am I getting paid for these YouTube videos? 0. I'm not monetized. Right? Patreon, my book, like private sessions, all of this stuff. I do it with a free and loving heart, and I've never turned anybody away because of money, right? We always work something out. I was raised by a lawyer, a good one, right? So I'm pretty good at balancing those scales. So I love the servant archetype, but any archetype in its gold is magnificent. Any archetype in its lead is a freaking nightmare. What a nightmare! Let's talk about the companion. I have this one too. Tends to come and go in seasons. The shadow attribute of the companion, beige ink on a beige card. Betrayal by misusing confidences. Loss of personal identity. Now, confidence, the opposite of a confidential thing, is when it turns into gossip, right? Or you take that information that someone gave you in confidence, or maybe you gave them, could be that too, and they use it against you in some way, right? The second part of this, though, loss of personal identity, right? Just think Dick Grayson, went from trapeze. Well, I'm a DC Comics geek, if you can't tell by the Wonder Woman's hidden here and there. Hey, Cassie Sandsmark back there, Wonder Girl. No, he went through, like, who am I without Batman? Who am I without Bruce? Who are any of us without Bruce, really? Woof. So that loss of identity that can come, that we often need to individuate. The light attribute, though, is just delightful. And this is in your work. Loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. Now, unselfishness does not preclude higher selfishness. Self-care, stuff like that. Because, again, 2 healing archetypes with the Exorcist or Divine Family. Think of that coming down in a physical form. So, for your work, certainly there's probably another person involved, at least a one-on-one. We would think a companion. In your career, a lot of people make their money in their work so that they can go home and do their career, their creativity, right? But to free oneself of destructive impulses and others of destructive impulses, well, that speaks of some shadow work going on here. So that's the most we talk about any of these cards, except for maybe some of the bookie books, the last 3. So let's get the next 4 chakras down, 1 card each, 1 for each level. The internal, the feminine energy, the world behind your eyes. Now, your vocation is 8th chakra dominant. Your career is heart, throat, third eye, crown dominant, because you use your creative intuition every day, like, what do I want for dinner tonight? You go in, you go, and then it drops down into the lower 3 chakras, and it's survival intuition. We'll get that with the next 3 cards after this. So let's do this. Please take a nice deep breath. The tarotologist, what do you want? Still point. There we go. As I call upon my goddesses of fire, the sign of Sagittarius, powers of the south, please, beloved goddesses of mutable fire, 3 cards face down for the Sagittarius collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. watching this video, maybe you guided them to this reading. Work, career, vocation read. We've got companion in the 8th in their work. What's underneath that? Okay, we've got servant in their career, heart, third eye, crown, dominant. So this card is usually key, particularly if that's the level with the leverage. And, you know, a divine family archetype in vocation, reason, season, or a lifetime, particularly for the Exorcist, is very much needed on planet Earth, right? If we want to see less destructive impulses taking over in the world, we kind of have to clear that up within ourselves to an extent. So please, what do you got there in their vocation? Heart, their third eye, crown, in this timeless work, career, vocation read. Let's see. Ooh, you lucked out. You got the Exorcist in the 8th with the 9 of Cups, Kuan Yin, the Chinese bodhisattva goddess, depending on who you read, of compassion and contentment, definitely a divine mother figure. Now, where many will say, oh, it's wish fulfillment, this is inside, right? So I'm going to say you went through a little bit of 8 of Cups, maybe walking into deeper aspects of yourself spiritually, emotionally speaking, which, yes, means you walk away from some things on the outside, but you got to come back, right? Everybody's got to pay bills, as far as I know. This is finding that 9th cup. Right, this is a loving, open heart. This is whatever arises, love that, right, Matt Kahn? It is self-love at its maximum. One more cup to go to get to the 10, which is Inanna's house of heaven, ecstasy there. So that feels good. And, you know, that's why I'm a student and a teacher of A Course in Miracles, because the opposite of fear is love, but that which is all-encompassing can have no opposite. Like, that's right in the introduction. What makes it go like that? Pure non-dualism. That's my game. Pure non-dualistic, which means none of this is ultimately real. And I feel fine. The servant in, this is interesting, the servant in your career with the 9 of flames, the 9 of wands. It's 2 9s in a row, so I'm going to say there's definitely a symmetry here. Granted, water to fire relationship here, but the wanderer, a Romani woman with her wagon, and she's pulling it herself. She ain't got a mule. She's pulling that herself. Maybe she's wearing mules. I don't know. I can't see her feet. But making her way over the hill to where the sun is either rising or setting for that 10th flame. So that would be 9 of wands and Rider-Waite based traditional tarot. And the vibe on this is that you may be very much conserving your creative energy. I would say very much throat chakra, willpower, spit, swallow, or chew. This could be like, I'm getting there, I just have to hang in there. Let me just chew on this. The choices that you make right now to alchemize your lead to gold are pretty clear, particularly if, you know, you say, okay, so I've got some destructive impulses in me. If you are an empath, how could you not, right? Destruction is not evil, okay? Like, the acids in your stomach that break up the food, right? It's like, that's a destructive process, right? And all that rises falls, all that renews decays. It's just the cycle of it, particularly if you're a witch, you know that, right? The cycles of the sun, cycles of the moon, erosion and rebirth. So there is a journey that's going on inside of you here, and this might very well be self-service right now, and that's where a lot of servant archetypes get lost, right? They keep working harder and pushing. I did it. That's why I'm not monetized on YouTube anymore. That's why I'm on Patreon. So I was burning myself out. And not fun. Maybe you are a little burned out, right? You know, you think of Rider-Waite, 9 of wands, like, don't touch my stuff, right? A little guarded. Maybe this is internally you a little burned out. Now, there is the 8 of flames before this one that is actually called burnout. So this could even be a healing process that you are in. Let's look at your work. Now, this is lower 3 chakra dominant, but what's going on the inside? Your first major arcana card, a companion in the 8th. How about high priestess on the inner? That aligns all 4 chakras, heart, third eye, crown, as it would be for any major arcana card the way I do these types of readings. So this is Isis. What is a priest or a priestess? But a channel through which the divine works. Now, again, we've got the Exorcist here with Kuan Yin, all this love and compassion, not your cups overflowing, right? And perhaps you're serving, but you're a little guarded about that because you're not talking about it necessarily. You could be. We'll look at the lower three chakras, the physical world next, but certainly that balance of justice and mercy, being that channel. Like if you're a Reiki master, or I'm only Reiki too. I don't need to teach that. That's not my gig. It's too much for my TV, so to speak. But certainly to channel light, to channel love, to channel truth, or to be still and know. Be still and know. Like that. Fill in the blank. Be still and know. Be still and know I am God is the original, but people tend to get a little nervous with that one. I ain't got a problem with it. We're all one. Yeah. So let's look at the lower three chakra dynamics. The masculine energy, your relationships in the physical world, including your relationship to yourself, solar plexus, relationship to other people, individually, one-on-one, that could show up here. Clearly, as well as root chakra relationships. That's relationship with groups and tribes, right? Industries, right? The company you work with, the people in groups, and all that. You know, this is the moneymaker reading, people. You got to bring it into alignment, though. Don't we all? Please have a nice deep breath. Please have a nice great day. Please take a nice deep breath. Okay. Still point. As I call upon my gods of fire, the sign of Sagittarius, powers of the south, please, beloved gods of mutable fire, 3 cards face down for the Sagittarius collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers who are watching this video, and perhaps you called to this reading. What's going on in their work? Lower 3 chakra dominant. This is the lower 3 chakra dynamic. Companion in the 8th, Isis, the high priestess. On the inner, that's what's going on the outer in their work. The servant in the 8th with the wanderer, the 9 of flames on the inner, what's going on the outer. And this feels really, really lovely. The exorcist in the 8th with Kuan Yin, 9 of cups in their vocation. What's going on? Lower 3 chakras, inside out, them looking out, or outside in, them looking at themselves. In this timeless work, career, vocation reading. Okay. All right. So the exorcist. Okay. Yeah, Kuan Yin, lovely. You got Hermes as the psychopomp, the judgment card. Hermes underground. He's one of the few gods that can come and go. He has the river Styx speed pass, as do I, apparently. Look, this is something being revealed to you, but I would think, because it's your vocation, this could actually be like a spiritual revelation, but that heart's got to be open. Love is divine power. So you could have all sorts of thoughts coming and going in that third eye. It's usually where we have visions, right? Mystic, crystal, or otherwise. Well, that takes on a different meaning now, don't it? Ooh, no thanks. I like to sleep. There's definitely an opportunity here if you can get that heart open, right? And you'll get a Macan healing mantra that would probably help with that, our last card down. But something is being revealed to you so you can make a final judgment, particularly if you are dealing with a toxic situation, dealing with destructive impulses in your work, career, vocation, that your spirit might very well be saying, oh, no, I've had enough of this. Look, I have this rule, and I don't care, friends, family, clients, I will do everything within my power to serve, to heal, to help. But unapologetic toxicity, no, I can't. That's your choice. Everybody has the free will to be as toxic as they want to be. Who am I to say what's in their contract? I don't know. Barely know my own contracts. Thank you very much. But something might be revealed to you where you're like, okay, the final decision is, but I can tell you, you're going to have to feel out some of those destructive impulses. Look, I'm a very well-trained witch. And there's this old saying in the craft, you got to know how to heal, you have to know how to hex, or a paraphrase of that. So, because it's the same movement of energy, and it does take practice, and it does take time. So maybe there is a vision coming to you where something is revealed. Now again, major arcana, lower 3 chakras, pay very close attention to what's going on in terms of your spirituality, what's going on in the lower 3 chakras, because if someone's coming for you, or if they're lying to you, pay attention to what's going on in those lower 3, because things may not be as they appear to be, so something is to be revealed. It is a card of revelation, which is, we see from the book of Revelations in the Rider-Waite based judgment card, and you're really going in on the major arcana. You got the servant in your career, your heart, third eye crown, dominant level of power, the seeker, the wanderer, with Hecate, the goddess of witches, the card of the moon, 3-faced with little cerebrus puppy. Yeah, probably I'm gonna stick with this again. Pay very close attention to what's going on in your lower 3 chakras. Read Anatomy of the Spirit by Carolyn Mace. Each chakra has a different voice of intuition, and as you become fluent in its language, you are really able to navigate well. So I'd say whatever's going on in your career, it may be murky. I mean, please, with the financial situations, the economy of planet Earth, what did Carrie Fisher say? It changes like bloat and weather, right? It just keeps changing. So it might be hard to navigate this, but you have the intuitive power here. I will also say, Hecate being queen of the crossroads, crone of the crossroads, that there might be a major decision going on here. You might be saving up your energy to go your own way from something here. Might not be time to do it just yet, but something is being revealed. All right, survival intuition, first level of power, your work. Companion does feel like a relationship with at least one other person in your work. High priestess, though, a high vibe, spiritual energy. Lower 3 chakras. You got another major arcana card. It's time. It's the Wheel of Fortune. It's the fates. Don't worry about, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? It's written into the script. That's, to me, what the Wheel of Fortune is. The Wheel of Fate, the Wheel of Karma. But fate is the lead. Destiny is the gold. You got to do the work. You have to take the journey. You got to heal. Now, if there is somebody that you are dealing with, now this is a companion vibe. Now, if they're misusing your confidences, then beware of that. That could certainly be what's on the table here. I do feel like there is a very strong through line through the physical part, the lower 3 chakra dynamic for your work, career, and vocation with those major arcana cards, and not just any. Judgment, Hermes as psychopomp, Hecate the moon, queen, goddess of the crossroads, and Wheel of Fortune, the fates. This is big. This is big. Major, and plus just that, you've got Isis on the inner with the fates, the Wheel of Fortune on the outer. You definitely can navigate your way through this, but you're going to really have to align this. Now, little by little, you don't have to do it in a weekend. It's a journey, and that's why now we're done with Tarot Town. The chakras are on the table. We're going to get into some oracular divination here, the Whispers of Lord Ganesha from Angela Hartfield. She says Ganesha. I've always called him Ganesh. Started working with Lord Ganesha back in 1998 when I started working with the Ashaya monks. A wonderful set of workshops they do. I took all 5 spheres, but their first sphere workshop is worth looking into. He is the Hindu elephant-headed god of success and prosperity, which suits these readings, but also the remover of obstacles, which suits the alchemy. Let's see what he's got to say for you. Please take a nice deep breath. And I love him so much. Still point. As I call to the beloved Lord Ganesh, please, great God of success, prosperity, and remover of obstacles. One card in clarity, I ask for the Sagittarius Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers who are watching this video and called to this reading. What is your guidance, your grace, your wisdom, your power, your oracle message to help them? alchemize, the shadow to light, the lead to gold, the pain to peace, the toxic to healthy, the poverty to prosperity, the enslavement to freedom, the fear to love, in this Timeless Work, Career, Vocation read. Cultivation. Now, I just want to say, while I was doing that, I gently bit my tongue. It's not bleeding. I have a feeling that's for you. I have a feeling that's for you in terms of your, but just bite your tongue. Bide your time. Bite your tongue. Oh, that's never come out of my mouth before. They're the same thing, aren't they? Bite your tongue. Bite my tongue. Ugh. Aren't we glad that got cleaned up with His Holiness? I'm really glad. I was kicked in the gut that day. Card number 37, cultivation. Right? I said I'm cultivating a relationship with Lord Ganesha for all these years. So cultivation isn't done overnight, right? That is a journey into itself. So I'm going to read you what is said here. Card number 37, cultivation. This is the music one. Listening to music can heal, encourage, and nurture your soul. So there's a musical component here. Your spirituality is an essential part of who you are, and it forms the framework of your world. Music resonates with the human spirit. At the heart of humanity is the song of the soul. Now, that might very well be that Kuan Yin in your third level. Music has the power to unite communities, cultures, and civilization. Listening to music can heal, hearten, and support your soul. So I know any musicians like that are doing this. They're like, oh, yeah, ding, ding, ding. Bingo was their name. Studies have found that musical tones communicate with and have an energetic impact on the cells and organs of the human body. Absolutely. That's why binaural beats and all that stuff. It is believed that the cells vibrate and essentially have their own musical intonations. Listening to music can help heal and uplift your energy. You may find that by tuning into or uplifting calming music, you create space for greater contemplation and in turn gain more clarity about you are creating in your life. So this is going to be probably very, very key to that second level of power. Gain more clarity about what you're creating in this life. It can also bring about a stronger connection to your higher self, to oneness. So this is across the board, that somehow music plays a role here. Music cultivates community as sound fosters communication and greater unity. Cultivation is a continual process that develops, encourages, and nurtures. There is a spiritual connection that forms between the music and the listener. Ganesha is inviting you to incorporate music into your life in a way that will augment spiritual expansion, which is 9th house Sagittarius, Jupiter ruled deal. Listening to soothing music while you prepare for your day. Move away from the noise of excessive electronics and digital images and back into a more melodic existence. Take time to sit and listen to music. Doing this can shift your energy to a clearer and more receptive state. And I get for some of you, that's definitely like about the music, about your creativity, like literal. But, you know, I have this Spotify playlist called Sweating Prayer. The idea from a book from Gabrielle Roth, Sweating Your Prayers, back in the 90s. Very, very powerful. Which is certainly a way of taking, let's say, destructive forces and energies within yourself and giving it a creative expression. I mean, it's not, I don't like lyrical dance. I'm a dancer, right? Like, no, give me some Bob Fosse. And you can channel some pretty strong fire, right? And leave it on the dance floor. There you go, right? Just an example. So music is a huge part of my life. I experience what I call audio tarot, right? I'll put it on a random playlist and like I'll think the word and then it'll say it at the same time. The lyric will come through. It's pretty cool. So lovely. That's lovely. Let's keep going. Like I said, your wild card comes from The Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish, but there's so much in this book that I wouldn't even know where to begin. It's very well written, though. But we use this for the element of fire and the 5-card draws, which I'm getting ready to do in a couple of days. So let's see. A little spell fragment, a little something, help you do what you got to do. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. as I call upon the ancestors of magic, miracles, and mysticism, 3 levels of power, for the Sagittarius Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Signs, and Cross-Watchers who are watching this video may be guided to this reading by their ancestors. What is the spell fragment? An element of fire. What they yearn for, what they burn for, what their hearts desire, or at least that which might be required to help them alchemize their shadow to light, their lead to gold, their pain to peace, their toxic to healthy, their poverty to prosperity, their hell to heaven, their perdition to paradise. In this timeless work, career, vocation read. Fertility! Fertility. Let all take root, seed, and sprout. Let new life be all about. Now, look, cultivation. I just got a call from my mom up in Saratoga. I'm going to see her in a couple of weeks. She's like, well, we're at the plant center. What do you want? I'm like, Mom, go wild, because I will bring home whatever she gives me and plant it. I'm a gardener. She raised me in a garden, so to speak. So fertility, right? If the soil is fertile, symbolically speaking, and literally speaking, and the seed is whole, W-H-O-L-E, then certainly let all take root, seed, and sprout, let new life be all about. And that is the language of creativity, right? You conceive an idea, you plant a seed. Even pregnancy, it's the same language, give or take. So a lovely little thing to do. Now, you could do this any time of year. Like, literally, I'm doing this in the beginning of May 2023. I am saving my seeds to plant on the new moon in Taurus. I'm a witch. Of course I'm going to do that. Whatever I have around the house, I'll put in more plants as we go. But now think of that symbolically, particularly with music, right? To get into something that taps you into your own fertile creativity. So let all take root, seed, and sprout. Let new life be all about. So it feels like these destructive things that you are clearing, right? Let me get the right verbiage on that. Freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. That's alchemizing that into creative impulses and making room for new life. I like it. I like it a lot. See, it's like, that's why, this card always means this. It's like, no. It's the relationship of the cards themselves, as well as the energies of how they feel next to each other. Yeah, just like when you can look at a couple and go, oh no, and go, oh no, right, you feel it. Last card down, the Macon Healing Mantra deck just one. Used to do these with 3 for each. It was overwhelming even for me. So the guys were like, tweak it and add a wild card. So we did. I have really, really a lot of help in the invisible world with this stuff. So this will help, one would think, with the alchemy and the healing, particularly because if you have 2 healing family archetypes. Please take a nice deep breath. But powered, I think, by a divine family archetype of the Exorcist. Still point. Oh, as I call upon the ascended masters of life purpose through the archetypal lenses of work, career, vocation, because this is a life purpose read, but that's a lot to chew on all at once. So please, beloved ones, ascended masters of work, career, and vocation, what is the perfect healing mantra for the Sagittarius Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Signs, and Cross-Watchers? I was fast watching this video, drawn to this reading to help them alchemize this and have the happiest, healthiest, wealthiest, wisest work, career, vocation experience that they can experience in this timeless work, career, vocation read. Opening my mind, I allow myself to see beyond my beliefs and ideas. That's one of my ones for the 8-card trust shadow reads. I do the mantras in the readings for my Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Why would you want a reader who did not apply, if it resonated, what was in their readings? Yeah. Look, the third eye, right? We have all sorts of beliefs and ideas. Oh, let's go to my standby. The sun does not rise in the east and set in the west if the planet turns on an axis, and it does, right? Perception is not always truth. We can have all sorts of beliefs and ideas that are just not true, right? That's the lead to gold. That's the illusion to truth. And now look at that Judgment card. Something is revealed here as a result of that 9 of Cups. Let me read you from the bookie book, and then we'll put it all together. And then we'll talk a little bit at the end about the cool stuff going on for Drawing the Circle. The new music that's being created for the channel from Janet Grace Alvarado and all sorts of cool stuff. going on, opening my mind. I allow myself, that's the free will. Only you can allow yourself. I allow myself to see beyond my beliefs and ideas. When your mind opens, you're no longer limited by fearful beliefs or at odds with your own healing journey. Well, this has happened because in a last life I stepped on an ant and now I'm getting stepped on, right? Maybe, who knows? You don't know, right? No one's gonna know. There's no past life-ometer that we can, I mean, you can muscle test and pendulum test, but location. With an open mind, you are aware of a bigger cosmic picture where your personal life ushers in the highest potential of uplifting the consciousness of humanity. I see that across the board here. Are there some risks? Sure, life is risk. Every day, every morning is the Fool card. As your mind opens, life is not just centered around your personal gains and losses, but shining your light for the well-being of all, wherever you happen to be. Yeah, I allow myself to see beyond my beliefs and conclusions. Because if we ever saw the whole of it, we'd go mad. That is what mystical madness is. Every mystic goes through it at some point. And it's not pretty. Sometimes you get stigmata and levitation along with it. No one believes you. No, I don't. I'm a top. I get penetrated under protest. This mantra is ideal for ending the inner negotiation with ego. And what does that look like? Well, we could do that, but maybe if we lied about this or we didn't, it's that negotiation instead of being authentic from the soul. Unraveling self-sabotage, who hasn't, and confronting the inevitability of loss, because all that rises falls, right? Oh, sweetheart, I've been in business for so long as a professional witch, and even before that, in the spirituality industry, new age, pagan, magical, all of that. I did retail, never again the retail times. Or food service, I never did it because I've said it before. If someone was mean to me, I would hex their latte. No, that's not who I want to be. That I have free will about. But really, opening your mind with fertility, there's new stuff coming. There always is. And I think that might very well be the gains and losses that you've gone through. But I'm going to say, soft of eye and light of touch, speak ye little, listen much. Thank you, Doreen Valiente. Blessed be, you're probably reincarnated as a TikTok witch, and I'm okay with it if you are. You earned it. With cultivation and fertility and opening your mind, this may very well be literal, financial, but it's all fueled. I'm going to say, where is your leverage? Your leverage is here in your vocation. Get very, very clear about everybody has destructive impulses, right? Oh, yeah. My DNA, I come from, all the calm races, like the Sicilians, the Germans, the Scottish, the Irish. Yeah, peace. Thank God. Thank the gods for the Canadian French I have on my mother's side of the family. It makes me fun and sweet, I guess. Oh, that Michael J. was a fox. This is a really lovely read, but let's put it together. All together, because I think you really got what you need here to, at least for now, reason, season, or a lifetime, really look at your own destructive energies and shift them, alchemize them into creative. That's the polarity, destruction into creation, lead to gold, fear to love, blah, blah, blah. Oh, the candle went out. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. Pretty. Please take a nice deep breath. It's blessimation time. Still point. Of course I have a candle in front of me. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for the Sagittarius collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers who are watching this video and who are drawn to this reading, may they be blessed with all that they need so that in their vocation they can free themselves and others of destructive impulses by tapping into that Kuan Yin, Nine of Cups, that self-love on the inner, while something is revealed, most likely as a result of their opening their heart and loving themselves to that extent so that they can open their mind and allow themselves to see beyond their beliefs and ideas, and so that in their career they can delight in serving others with a free and loving heart, while perhaps they are guarded, perhaps planning, but there's some self-protection and some self-care in there as well, because things might be a little occluded, a little cloudy with a chance of mystical meatballs going on in their career. And so they may not see the fertility that's available to them. So let all take root, seed, and sprout. Let new life be all about for them in their career, and so that in their work they are able to embrace their loyalty, their tenacity, and their unselfishness, perhaps by really being a channel of this energy all the way down into physical form. All heart, third eye, crown chakras lined up in a row here for the divine to move through. That's time, and there's a turning of the wheel, and I just had something delivered and I don't know what it is. I just saw my gate open and close. I didn't see the person. Yikes. Yeah, so the fates, so that the fates will of the warp and weave of the web of life, that they are cultivating their own inner peace, their own inner healing, particularly with some companions along the way, that there is something musical to this. There is something that can help fulfill them as well as help them free themselves of destructive forces into the creativity with fertility, cultivating a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser work, career, vocation, to pay their bills, to live wisely and well, to live and teach by example in all that they do, for their well-being, for the well-being of their loved ones, and really for the well-being of all, and with harm to none. As we will it, so let it be done. So would it be. And so it is. It was good. I like that. Nice solid reading. No real womp-womps in it. Womp womp. Yeah, looks pretty good. The Exorcist is tricky. But this is why, if it did make sense to you, hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe, comment, notification bell if you feel so called. All of that stuff's just going to help other people find the reading. And this is a powerful reading, no doubt. So I'm on Patreon. We don't have algorithms or logarithms. You sign up for any of my levels of subscription on Patreon, you get it. That's on that level of subscription since I started it in November 2021, right? Moving forward, as long as you're a subscriber, daily check-ins, extended readings, and of course the discount for private sessions with Mel, the new video that's in there, spiritual counseling, readings, of course, in-person, travel, Zoom recorded, all of that, it's all explained in there. And like I said, my patrons get a significant discount on that because I raised my rates May 1st. It was time, 25 years. But most importantly, this is wonderful. I mean, I know so many musical Sagittarians, it's ridiculous, like literal musicians. So I'm so happy for them, but it really does seem like the leverage is in this, your vocation there. So do the spirit and then incarnate it from that 8th chakra all the way down into physical form. And at least, hopefully it's got a nice beat and you can dance to it. So wishing you the very best and the very blessed, my beloved archers, my beloved Sagittariuses. It's okay. Reach out if you need help. I'm here. Heal, hail, farewell, and blessings.